My name is Cole Clark, and I'm president of AmygdaLaunch, a Manhattan-based BevAlc innovation analytics company. Today, we're talking about how labels communication impacts product performance based on shifts in purchase occasion. We're going to use an example from a test that we were running with one of the nation's largest suppliers of wine that occurred throughout the summer and early fall of 2022. The client was evaluating two label variants of a new brand introduction, but the same product. One of the label variants had much higher contrast, much more prominent branding, while the other one was more neutral in its color palette and much more text forward. So throughout the warmer months of June, July, and August, the higher contrast label consistently outsold the more neutral label on a weekly basis. However, towards the end of August and in early September, we saw a flip in that performance. All of a sudden, we saw the more neutral label performing much better. And so the shift was so dramatic that we wanted to dig into the drivers behind it. And seasonality was obviously playing a role. So we decided to pull daily weather data from the regions around the stores and cross-reference that with the overperformance of the second label variant. We evaluated product performance or label variant performance against changes in weather patterns. And we found that the colder, windier, less favorable the weather, the better variant B performed. In fact, weather accounted for 68 to 73% of variant B's overperformance. Consumers' product perception changed according to shifts in their purchase occasion. Instead of buying a product perceived as loud, fun, and bold for consumption with friends on warm summer nights, they opted for a product that communicated relaxing, restful, and cozy for consumption indoors, away from the elements, perhaps with families sheltered from the unfavorable weather. How does the ability to quantify the qualitative and really understand the drivers behind trends in terms of product perception, how does that impact the innovation process as a whole? Well, the idea of quantifying what was previously thought to be strictly qualitative is very much related to the broader conversation around the implications of generative AI like ChatGPT and DALL-E. Businesses are trying to understand how these tools will impact their operations, and employees are trying to understand whether or not their positions are at risk. The thought leaders across industries, including ourselves, believe that the bar of performance will simply be elevated. No one's job is going to become irrelevant using these types of tools. However, they are going to allow employees and creative teams specifically to have a better starting point and more information to inform their process so they can innovate and create more efficiently and ultimately have a better work product. In the context of alcohol product innovation and creative development, this manifests itself as more nuanced initial creative direction, more specific feedback throughout creative iterations, faster optimization, elevated creative expression, which ultimately leads to better performance of the product. If you want to capitalize on the opportunity to gain a competitive edge by more efficient label optimization, shoot us an email. We'd love to chat.